Hey everybody, Autumn Ivy here. I just got up this morning, so I'm still in pajamas and situating myself with coffee and other things. Um I was originally just gonna type this out on Patreon, I think, or like in some of my other subsites and whatnot. Um, but I felt like maybe making a video, which the whole point was I was supposed to start doing vlogs and stuff, right? Um, and then I haven't, which this was months ago. I was supposed to start doing it really, but I was trying to get a little bit more scheduled, I guess, so that I could implement things the way that I felt needed to be implemented in the right timeline. Um, and it never feels like I have enough time. Um, my voice is kind of froggy, so forgive me. Again, I just woke up not too long ago. I think it's almost 7 now. Been up since like 5, but I wanted to maybe make it a point to say the things that I needed to say and not just write them out, because I think sometimes typing things out, like, people will read it, but you don't quite get the full scope of what's happening when you type things out. Um, I apologize. I feel like I've been scrambling to pick up pieces for the last several months, and really it's really been longer than that. But specifically the last several months, because it feels like everything that I do is wrong or not good enough. And everybody goes through those periods in their life, I think, and in even ups and downs in general, where it's like, okay, like, did I do the thing I needed to do? Did I do enough of the thing that I needed to do? Was it good enough? And I find myself as one of those people who, majority of the time, never seem to quite find it good enough, which sucks, because there's this expectation of self that happens, um, where you you kind of figure out that whatever it is that you were doing in the first place should have, could have, or would have been better, or like, well, why wasn't it better? Or, well, I don't know. I could go on forever. I feel like I'm not putting out the things that I really want to put out in the quality that I want to put them out in. Even if it doesn't seem that way, it feels that way to me, which I think I'm stuck in that perpetual feeling no matter what I do. But I'm so tired that I just can't. Like, the things that you perceive, the things that we put out as creators of any kind, as voice actors, as cosplayers, as costumers, as writers, as, as whatever content creation you do, we have this innate need to present ourselves a certain way because that is what we're required to do in accordance with our platforms. And I've always been that person who has told people, because I get people who are like, well, you don't really do your daily motivations anymore. Like, oh, I just don't see them anymore. And it's like, well, that would be because I'm not going to sit on a pedestal and tell you guys like, oh, it's going to be okay. And like, not, it's not. Like, why would I'm not going to make a video when I can't justify feeling okay. And that's exactly how it goes down. Like, I don't feel okay, so I'm not going to make that. Why would I? That would be beyond me. Are you ready to go outside? Okay. The house horse Hatchet needs to go outside, so give me just a moment. I will be right back. Okay. The house horse has been let out. So anyway, I just don't feel like I have had the energy to put out the things that I really, really, really want to put the energy into and that I really, really, really want to put out because I'm burned out. And like, it's funny because I see people comment sometimes, not necessarily to me, though it has been at me, but I see people comment sometimes and they're like, well, you must have it hard. Um, like doing what you do. It's not like you're like doing anything, like hard. Well, I don't know, man. I've had a job since I was like 12. That's not an exaggeration. I've legitimately had some kind of a job in some capacity since I was like 12. I was one of those kids who had a parent that worked in food service, and they had really shitty high school kids that would work for them sometimes and just not show up for work. And it was a small town situation. So like my I would dishwash and like do hostess stuff and things like that. And it was a like pay you under the table kind of thing. I've never not worked. And it's weird. I've done a lot of jobs. I've worked retail, I've worked, call center, I've worked in food, I've done a lot of shit. And the last job that I had, I worked for 10 years doing insurance claims and auto damage evaluation. And one of the very first phone calls that I ever got for that job was a lady who told me that she wished she would have died in the car accident with her husband. And I will never forget that call. Because that call should have told me what the next 10 years was going to look like for me. And as someone who has their own mental health struggle and like their own shit going on at any given point in time, like I've got my own list of diagnosis. I'm never going to forget that shit. And that's just I have hundreds of stories. I have so many stories. And the reality is that someone can sit and say, well, you have it so easy, and not recognize that just because I've been doing like content creation of some kind since I was, I mean, realistically, I've been acting and that kind of thing since I was a kid, but like, I've been doing this since I was 18. That's a long time. And I love it. I love being able to do things and to have people send me messages and tell me like, oh, this thing you were in like got me through this really tough time, or like, hey, like you inspired me, to keep up my fitness stuff because like I couldn't keep doing it and I thought I was done, but I can do it. Like you inspired me, and like I love that. I love being able to do things that somehow either helps people or puts them in a position to escape things, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And it's hard because I find myself, especially over the last couple of months, feeling like it's perpetually not enough or not good enough. And I know that I'm going to go through rungs of stuff, and I am not responsible for other people's lives. That's the hard part, is I think that we get to a point, and it's not just people in content creation or anything else. It's anyone. We find ourselves feeling like we're responsible for other people's lives, and we never were. We never will be. We are not responsible for someone else's life. We are responsible for our own lives. Just like much in the same way, you shouldn't change yourself for other people. So like if you start working out and going to the gym, oh, well, I did it for my boyfriend. Like, okay, well, I mean, if that's what you need to do it for, but like you should be doing it because like you feel like you want to do these things and you have these goals to achieve. And I don't know. It gets a little Western sometimes, you know. It'll be okay. Just gets Western. Too much yeehaw in the rodeo and not enough. Just not enough. So anyway, I'm running on. I just wanted to, I guess, make this really quick and apologize to those of you who are on the exclusives. I obviously had a stint where like I put out a bunch of stuff that was shot by, you know, a different videographer or photographer and so on that I wasn't used to. And it was nice to have some different stylistic qualities of images and things like that. And then of course I had this lull where everything hit me at once. I had like the second degree chemical burns from the high viscosity liquid latex incident revolving around PAX West and Carlac, which that was an accident. Stuff happens. I'm healed. I'm good. It's just, I'm scarred, but I'm okay. But I just, after a lot of things compiled, I feel like I am not in the right, I'm not in the right part of the forest, you know? Like, I know I'm in the woods, but it's one of those things where I feel like I stumbled on to the path that leads you to like the bougie RV park, and you're like, oh, like this is cool, but like not it. And then you go to like the regular campsite location. You're like, this is cool too, but like also not it. Like you're still in the woods, you're still getting that experience, but it's not right. And then I wonder, because I go through this periodically, like, is it ever gonna be? I don't think it's ever gonna be right. So anyway, I'm doing things. I'm working on things. I am trying. I know that it seems like I'm good because I make my posts, like I'm, you know, I have my moments where I'm okay, and I try to grab those moments and utilize them because they do genuinely matter sometimes. But I'm very tired and I'm very burned out, and I don't know how to take a vacation, like a legitimate one where I just stop and put everything down because I'm terrified. I'm terrified that things are going to fall apart the second that I step away from them. I don't know if that's true. Probably not. Like, the world will still turn, but it feels that way. So, yeah. Anyway, I've got some stuff that we're doing. I promise. I'm gonna do some behind the scenes things. We're gonna do that Ghost Adventures blog, the parody, I guess, for October. So you have that to look forward to. I'm releasing Makima this Saturday as well, so that's coming out. And then I have a few other things. As usual, all of my stuff for the exclusives is under officialautumnivy.com. Merch is under autumnivy.com. But I just wanted to say I appreciate each and every one of you for supporting me in whatever format you can, whether that's like, you know, you can't maybe necessarily get exclusive stuff this month or right away or whatever, but you're still like engaging and sharing things and liking stuff, or you're showing up for my streams. And I can't thank you guys enough for that because it sincerely does matter. And I do really appreciate it. And I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'm trying to take some time to be a little more introspective. And just make sure that although I am in the woods, that I am in the right part of the woods, you know? So I'll get there. I'm going to get there. I have to get there, but I'm going to get there. And everybody's got ups and downs. We have times where we're not happy, and we have times where we couldn't be happier. And those are fantastic because those remind us what happiness looks like. And I think that's important to acknowledge as well. But for me, it's just burned out. So I am in a bit of a creative lull, but I know that there's something is coming. I hope. I have plans, and I have, obviously, accounts is in the works as well for the audiobook version. We are still actively working on that, so no pressure, no stress. I'll have some behind the scenes stuff released as well for Patreon folks, so you guys get kind of a sneak peek. But anyway, this has run on far too long. You guys are amazing. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, drink water, don't do anything I wouldn't do. And just know that I'm gonna pick it back up. I know that it hasn't been the best lately, or maybe I haven't felt like it's been the best, but I'm working on it. I just need a little breather. I'm a little winded, and then I'm gonna get back to it. But you guys are amazing. So you got this, okay? Bye.